I hadn't even heard the name Charlie Kirk until yesterday, and today I am mourning his death with thousands of other people. Why? And how do Latter-day Saints move forward from this and help make the world a better place? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Lynzi Clyde. Welcome to the Why I Stay podcast. Today, it's like a little interruption podcast. There's no testimony from anybody writing in to give us today. I'm just going to share my thoughts and my call to action with all of you listeners on the podcast, which I'm so grateful for you. And you like the content, please hit subscribe below. Okay, so hopefully you haven't heard about what happened yesterday on the UVU campus in Provo, Utah. A man was murdered by a sniper shooter, and this man was a political activist. And I had never even heard of his name before. My brother was at our house and he said, Lynzi, you know Charlie Kirk? And I was like, no. And he said, you know, the guy who does the, his kind of right-wing guy, Fox News. I was like, no, I don't follow that stuff. He goes on to tell me what just happened on campus. And I'm here locally in Utah. And as the story unfolds, it becomes more and more shocking. I would consider myself a moderate. There are some things that I like from the conservative side of our politics. There are some things that I like from the liberal side of our politics. And there's some things I like from the other, like small parties that never get a foothold in our politics. And I'm a moderate. And so I have no real things to say about who he was or what he stood for. And that's not why we're here today. Today in this podcast, I really want to just say something that I posted on my own personal Facebook page, which said, not one of us is safe when murder is an acceptable consequence of disagreement. Now, being here on a religious podcast and sharing my beliefs online, I come under attack quite often here and on Instagram by people who don't agree with me. I don't know when it turned okay for us to think, because I don't agree with that person, they need to die. When did that become okay? I just can't help but think how much we all contributed to his death by contributing to the anger between parties online. See, none of us live in a bubble. My actions affect you, and your actions and words and thoughts affect me. We're all a part of this grand globe. We all live here on this earth. The energy and where we put our thoughts and our actions, those things have real weight. And after his death, I guess it's only been about 24 hours at this point, almost. And I've just been considering my own heart. How much does my heart contribute to the evil in this world? I think we're completely fooling ourselves if we think that the things that we do and think don't affect other people. We need to stop and think through what is happening here. When we participate in anger and let that anger or rage turn into hatred, we contribute to the evil of this world. I've been examining my own heart, and I have found myself wanting, lacking. Satan is an eons old entity. He is an ancient beast. And as much as we'd like to think that we do not fall into his traps or that we do not follow him, he is an expert at quietly lying in wait inside of our hearts. And so when thoughts of, oh, I'm offended by what she said, or, oh, I wish he would just go away, or I really, really don't like that guy, or I hate him. Where do those thoughts come from? Could they ever originate from Jesus Christ? The man who took everything unfair that you would ever do, that I would ever do, all the wrongs to each other that we would ever put out in the world. He took them all on himself so that we would have a chance at being saved. Jesus Christ has asked us to mourn with those who mourn and comfort those who stand in need of comfort. He didn't say, if you believe the same way as they do, or if they don't get on your nerves, or if they are listening to what you say and they're obedient to you. Jesus's commandments are just plain and simple. You love one another as I have loved you. You take it. You listen. You heal. You put your own wants and needs aside and you go to work and serve. And our differences are a unique opportunity to learn to love as God loves. God loves us perfectly, but we are so different from him. Yes, we are made in his image. Yes, we are his spirit children, but that's about where it ends. We are so imperfect. We are so mean, petty, and selfish. We try, but we don't hardly ever come through. That's not God. He's the opposite. He doesn't try, he does. He always comes through. He keeps his promises. He loves perfectly. We couldn't be more different from him, and yet he loves us unconditionally. He says, follow me. And we say, okay. And he says, follow me to somebody else. And then we look at that other person and we think, what the heck are you doing here? You shouldn't be, you're not worthy to follow Jesus. I'm worthy to follow Jesus. You're not worthy to follow Jesus. I'm not going to love you. I'm not going to take care of you because you, or you're annoying me. You're bothering me. You make me feel uncomfortable. You say things that upset me. That's not Jesus. That's Satan. And in the scriptures, it says, men's hearts shall fail them. I think we're failing our own hearts. I think that there is this good light of Christ inside of us, just wanting to just shine forth and love others radically and unconditionally. And we are failing our hearts in putting limits on who we will love and who we will mourn with and who we will let into our circles. We are failing our own hearts. Our prophet, President Nelson, has called us to be peacemakers. Make peace and start in your own heart by feeling peace for the people that you feel don't deserve it. This extends to even the vilest of sinners. Jesus requires us to forgive all men. He will forgive who he will forgive. Of us, it is required to forgive all men over and over and over again. That doesn't mean that we subject ourselves to hateful speech and sit in an abusive situation. We can advocate for ourselves and stand tall in who we truly are while loving others and understanding them. And when Charlie Kirk's murderer is caught, I hope none of us look on him with hate. Because when Jesus looked at his murderers, he asked the Father to forgive them. Not that he would ever agree with or encourage them to do what they did. But Jesus' arms were nailed open wide as a symbol of constant and everlasting forgiveness if we will seek him. And so I know what I am repenting of this day. It's for my negative thoughts towards my family, towards others online, towards people who I feel have wronged me. It's time to let it go. We do not want to live in a world where murder is an accepted consequence of disagreement. Not only is it the death of a person, but the death of democracy and free speech. So as you are interacting with others in these weeks going forward, as you are participating in conversations online, I plead with you to put light where there is darkness, and kindness where there is contention, and a listening ear where there are only walled off hearts. It's up to each of us to contribute to the good in this world and to recognize that our own petty differences, the things that we hold on to, the excuses we make for our bad behavior and our unkind thoughts, those matter. They add to the evil. And in the same way, our good adds to the righteousness that we so desperately need in this world. So I would ask us all to consider what kind of world we want to live in. One where we pick our opponents off one by one, like a game of chess, only to find that you're the last man standing? Or is this a collaborative effort? Is this a time to come together and find peace? I'm praying for Charlie Kirk's family, and I hope you are too, no matter how you feel about him and his politics. Until next time, I hope you guys subscribe to the Why I Stay podcast, and if you want anything else, it'll be up here in the corner, and we'll see you next week.